I really wanted to like this game. I did an hour of recording yesterday talking about what I liked and what I disliked and ranting about Souls-like games. And while I was editing, I realized maybe I should play more in order to better form my argument. And so I did. Stepped away from the game for the day and I thought about it deeper. Next day I played another hour. As I was playing, my opinion that I already had cemented itself. And that is that this is a good game, but that I do not like playing Souls-like games. My name is Liberated Lyrics, and today I'll be ranting about Another Crab's Treasure. Another Crab's Treasure came out this April 2024. It's developed by indie game studio Aggro Crab Studios. I think they're situated in Seattle. They've made 2 smaller games before, and this is their first major title. You play as a little hermit crab who goes around trying to get his shell back after a new feudal lord has claimed ownership over their land. And it's a good game. It's a good story. It has nice environments. It has a really good art style, very cute. Music is nice. Music is atmospheric. Anything you expect from underwater levels, underwater music. The dialogue is funny. There's a lot of good criticism about society within the game. A lot of good ideas about how we think about trash and how we think about money and how we think about economic disparities. It's a good game. It's honestly a really good game in a lot of aspects. And I really wanted to like this game. But instead I have to be a negative Nancy and have this one thing that just blocks me from enjoying this. And that's the fact that it's a Souls-like game. I want to like Souls-like games as well. I can respect and I can acknowledge that some of the best games that have come out in the last 15 years are Souls-like games. From Software has had a huge influence on modern day gaming and a lot of mechanics that are used in many other games. I can acknowledge that Dark Souls and Elden Ring and Bloodborne and Sekiro and Life of Pi and Armored Core, you could even call a Souls-like game, and many other games are good games. However, I do not enjoy playing them. I can enjoy watching someone play it, but me personally, I can't get into it. Now, like I said, yesterday I already recorded this, and at that time I played around 4 hours of the game. I was taken away by the atmosphere, by the world building, you could say, and I really wanted to explore. However, certain mechanics of it being a Souls-like game really pushed me away and got me very frustrated, as you can imagine, and made me not want to explore anymore. That's something I really felt sad about, because I thought maybe this game, being more accessible than your average From Software game, could be my path into playing these amazing games. But that was not the case. And maybe it was my fault for going into it with this expectation that after this I would like Souls-likes. And that didn't happen. There are just certain things that I can't wrap my stomach around. It's mostly my stomach. It's a feeling in my stomach that I don't really enjoy while playing video games. And that's not to say that I don't like challenging games. No, I love a challenge. It's just that I think that there are certain things, certain elements of a Souls-like that I just can't deal with. And the first thing of that is already the controller layout. In many Souls-like games, you sprint by pressing B, and you also dodge by pressing that same button. You hold it for sprinting and you tap it for dodging or a roll. This is essential to the gameplay, as dodging, sprinting are very necessary in order to survive, basically. Which means that if you wanted to sprint or dodge and move the camera at the same time, you need to change the way you're gripping your controller. And that's by using what is called a claw grip. And it's funny, as we're playing a crab game and I have to play using a claw grip. I can see the humor in that, but it's just something I'm not used to, and after 5 hours I still don't enjoy using. So since B is the sprint button, instead of holding it like this, like a regular, like most games, you play like this. I made you look. You play like this. And you attack with RB. So you're doing this, you're doing this. It's quite confusing. It takes a while to get used to. After 5 hours, I can say I'm still not used to it, and it hurts my hand. I do not really feel like playing a game for a long time that puts a lot of strain on my hands and makes it uncomfortable for me to be there. That's one thing. Another thing I dislike about Souls-like games is the fact that these games feel like they're challenging for the sake of being challenging in itself. And what do I mean with that? I mean by that there are certain parts that are just there to kind of screw you over. And because of this, you always have to be on edge. You always have to be ready for something around the corner, because anything could be around the corner, and 2 hits, most of the time you're dead if you're unable to block or dodge in time. And there's nothing wrong with something being a challenge. However, when there are little things that... I lost my train of thought. But I realize I'm already going off on a tangent about Souls-like games, and I just want to focus on the good elements for a second. They did a really good job in stylizing an underwater world. They really did a good job in building the world and putting little secrets for you to explore and to stray away from the path that you're meant to take, to find little items that help you find funny secrets, and this makes it a very nice game to explore in. However, one thing that's a me issue is underwater is quite scary, I think, especially when there's already monsters around that are trying to kill you. It's already scary as a human. Imagine how scary it must be for a little hermit crab. But aside from that, the world is beautiful, and so is the soundtrack. The soundtrack is really well done. It really emphasizes this cutesy digital underwater space, and it's a nice background sound. However, it can get quite repetitive in some moments, and there are some moments where I would like music, but there's none, and others where the music is just a bit repetitive. And the same with, there are certain moments where the music, if you go a certain distance to one side, the music changes because you've entered a different area. This change happens quite abruptly. Maybe something nicer would have been a little transition or something in that manner. But overall, the music is really nice, and they did a good job. The same with the story and the world building, and the dialogue within the game is really well done. It's really good. There are some really funny jokes in there. There are some clever jokes with some political opinions behind it. Political opinions that I adhere to, some critiques about economic disparities and differences between higher and lower castes or class, some critiques about ways of dealing with trash, pollution. The larger enemy of the game, which I'm not going to spoil, is an interesting concept that we find in different media, but I think is really well done here as well. I just like the amount of detail and attention that was put in building this world, in making you feel like you're a little hermit crab, in certain gameplay mechanics. Something I forgot to mention is that instead of having armor, you as a hermit crab can find random pieces of trash to use as your shell, and each different piece of trash has different attributes, different abilities, and using them right in different situations is what enables you to beat a boss more easily or clear a level more easily. This is smart and really well done. Instead of having armor, you have a tin can, or you have a bottle of Yakult, or you have a little shuttlecock that you can play badminton with. or a tennis ball that can allow you to roll faster and jump over certain things. All these things I like, and all these things are plus points of this game. Because overall, this game is a good game. And probably if you like Souls-like games, you would enjoy this game. But I just can't wrap my head around it. I can't get the nice satisfactory moments for longer than 5 seconds. You kill a boss that you've been struggling with for 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, maybe even 30 minutes. You died 10 times, 20 times, and then you've killed it. And for me, it's more frustration than gratification. Because a lot of the times I died where I pressed the button to block, but because of a previous animation, you're just a millisecond too late and you're dead. And then you have to do it over. One thing I do like is the fact that they allow you to respawn right in front of the boss instead of you having to go back to your initial checkpoint, campfire, grace point. In this case, it's a moon snail, and you can immediately fight the boss again. That is a nice element. I enjoyed that instead of having to run all the way back to the initial point. Maybe even in the process of getting there, you had to use a health potion or whatever. In this way, you maintain all your health and all your health potions at the start of the boss fight, which is a good thing, I think. But that gratification isn't there for me. I feel more frustrated most of the times clearing the path, and I just want to go to the next path. And it doesn't really entice me to explore when every time you go back to your checkpoint, everything respawns, which is a normal thing in Souls-like games. I just find this another barrier of difficulty that I would rather not want to deal with. I will want to explore these levels properly and find every nook and cranny, but I am frustrated with the fact that there's enemies everywhere and killing them is already a hassle, and then you kill them and there's more and you kill those. In the process of doing that, you're almost dead. You've used most of your health potions. You can't go back to your checkpoint, go explore further because the enemies will respawn. This is something that's done in almost every Souls-like game, and it's a staple of the genre, you could say, but I just find it frustrating. This also leads to whenever you die further on in the mission or the level, whatever you want to call it, and you need to get back to your spot where you dropped all your runes or your XP in your shell, you just dart through all the enemies, you jump over, you sprint, you dodge to get to the point where you died, and you go further from that. And thinking about it, you could probably just run straight through the whole game without even killing an enemy once, and then having to face a boss without being able to have leveled up, as you didn't get any XP from the little grunts that you're supposed to kill. That can kill you in 2 hits, by the way. A boss will usually kill you in 2 hits, and most grunts will also kill you in 2 hits. Thinking about it, maybe I should have lowered my difficulty or the accessibility, as this is the first time I'm playing a Souls-like game, but I felt like playing the game the way the developers intended for the audience to play it, which is usually the level that they put it at. But in hindsight, this is probably for people that have already played and are experienced Souls-like games and are used to the mechanics and used to the controller layout. But that's too late now. So what is it about Souls-like games that so many people are into? I have trouble wrapping my head around it. I know that Elden Ring is a really good game. I know that Dark Souls 3 is a really good game. That Bloodborne is a really good game. They have very deep, immense lore, world building, characters, everything you could wish for in a video game or even in any piece of media. But the way these games are designed is just not for me. And I'm sad by that, because I want to experience these games. I want to experience these stories, these worlds, the whatever genius of Miyazaki, of the From Software Studios, of the whole crew, the thousands of people that have developed these games. but I'm just blocked by my inability to enjoy it. And I think a lot of people might have that feeling. And that's one reason I started playing Another Crab's Treasure, is because I thought it would allow me to be more, to gain, in a way, to train for Elden Ring. But playing it, I just realized I don't want to play Elden Ring. I'm fine with watching people play it, watching a streamer play it, but it's not for me. Maybe I'm not a true gamer. Maybe I just need CoComelon in front of me while I'm gaming. Maybe I just need to play Roblox or Minecraft or Club Penguin, because these games are just not for me. I want to be able to experience the story and the world, and of course be challenged, but not be frustrated the whole time, so much so that the nice parts I can't even really enjoy because I'm still bitter about what happened in the last half an hour. I don't know if other people feel the same, if other crabs feel the same, but I just couldn't really enjoy it. Aggro Crab Studios, you did a really good job though. I don't want to put that away from you. I don't want to say you shouldn't play this game. People should play this game, especially people who haven't played Souls-like games. Maybe for you this might be a good first step into these games, and a whole new world opens up for you. And I want that for you. I want people to be able to experience games in a way that a lot of people have experienced music or literature or movies. These are good experiences, I think. They help you form a larger idea about the world and about your own life. But as of now, for me, I'm not gonna finish this game. And I'm not gonna start another Souls-like. I hope that makes sense. Thank you for watching. Follow me on Twitch. I'll be playing the games that I'll rant about. And if you have any suggestions on what I should play next, please let me know in the comments below or send me a DM on Instagram. Have a good day.